Hello everybody and welcome back to episode 110 of the Save Slot 3 podcast. I'm your host here with Gizmo, joined us by Massive Das.
Hello everyone.
And Mr. CW Lanky.
Hello Dave.
Boys, we're back. Back again. As if we didn't go. So today we've got lots of things to talk about, including our favourite game of 2020, even though it's 2024. It will be less weird the more further back we go. But before we get to that, let's get to the Pengels newsroom.
It's time for some news, and there is 10 items on the news report.
Baker's dozen.
It could be. Number 1, Nintendo 3DS and Wii U online function ended this past week. Did you play any Nintendo 3DS or Wii U, Dave, in this last week of playing?
I did. I no longer own a 3DS or a Wii U, Chris. So F's in the chat.
Oh, that's disappointing. I had a quick play. There's videos up on my channel and Save Slot 3 channel where everything was pretty much dead apart from Splatoon and Mario Kart. So, you know.
There we go. Which is a brilliant summarization of the Wii U anyway.
Yeah, but Pretendo now, since it's literally the next day, you don't even need to hack your Wii U or anymore. There's just similar to the PS3 settings, so you can jump back online with Splatoon on your Wii U with some fiddling, but not a huge amount of fiddling. And they even got the Miiverse working and Splatfest and stuff like that. It'd be interesting how it goes because the PS3 community of online is around your Killzones, your Motorstorms, your SOCOM, stuff that hasn't got a PS4, PS5 version, where obviously the Wii U, there's Splatoon 3, there's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and you'd think with a Switch 2 there'd be a Splatoon 4 and Mario Kart X or something. So I don't know how it will, people will go back or anything like they have with the PS3. Could be interesting going forward.
Indeed.
And talking going forward, Ubisoft Forward has been announced for Monday, June 10th. So this is the third, second confirmed, but there's rumours and leaks that Xbox is June 9th. So it would be the third summer event that we possibly know of. So are you looking forward to Ubisoft Forwards? No one's looking forward to Ubisoft.
I was hoping Craig was going to answer. But,
yeah, it's a name that Pengi. I don't know. They could. This could be where they announce. Well, not announce, but they kind of give more details of. Is it Assassin's Creed Red, the one that everyone thinks is coming this year, the Japan one?
Yeah, Rise of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously it'd be a good time to do it with Shogun coming out and being very good.
Absolutely.
So it would make sense, wouldn't it? And people seem to think that's going to be this year, which seems optimistic, doesn't it? Considering didn't we have an Assassin's Creed game last year?
Yeah, we have Mirage last year.
But this is we're not going back to old school, which everyone thought they wanted. This is going to be the new one, right?
Mm-hmm. And it would be in that weird. Was it? It's not Nexus, 'cause that's the VR game, but it was that weird hub thing, wasn't it? There you were planning, and then all the Assassin's Creed games were going to be in this hub, starting.
It's going to be Assassin's Creed Infinite or something like that.
Yeah. And then they would have because there was the weird Russian horror one and stuff. And X was one, and that's 4 of them, didn't they? At the time, one was mobile, and 3 were on console, from what I remember.
Yeah, so I imagine we get that. I don't know what else they've really got coming. They got Star Wars, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, one of the Ubisoft teams changed their profile pic and stuff like that on Twitter to Splinter Cell. So maybe the Splinter Cell remake's finally going to show.
What's that game that you want that's was announced 6 years ago?
Beyond Good and Evil? That's
it. Maybe you get that, Pengi.
They showed the 20th anniversary. Remember that leaked up on Xbox for a day and then it was taken down.
Maybe we see that rogue Prince of Persia again.
Possibly. So I'm going to keep on the news because you've kind of brought some of it up. Number 3, Star Wars Outlaws, is coming 30th of August 2024. So it is this year. So I think you got it on Fantasy Critic, have you, Craigie?
No, Dave's got it.
Oh, Dave's got it, has
Oh,
he?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
It looks
'cause
good,
there
but
was-
I'm just worried that the critics are going to hate it because there's like microtransactions and stuff. That's my
But there's
worry.
no towers. They said there's going to
No
be no
towers.
towers. Yeah,
Can
so.
confirm.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
it looks good, doesn't it? But like, I don't know, people get really upset about these like DLCs and battle passes and that. But if it's not actually
Just don't buy them, innit?
front and
That's pretty
center,
simple.
yeah, if it's not like front and center and being shoved down your throat, then you just kind of ignore it, and it's not really a big deal, is it?
No, I agree.
I mean, at the end of the day, these companies need to try and make more money from games, don't they? That's the brutal reality of the industry at the moment. So they've got to
Yeah.
try and come up with something.
yes. And number 4 on the news, and keeping on Ubisoft, the Rogue Prince of Persia has been announced at the Triple I event, and it is only PC at the moment with early access in May for that title, and no announcement on console versions.
As Penguin's voice dies.
I would imagine we'll get console confirmation in June.
Yeah, I would think so.
What was your guys' thoughts on that show
I thought it was good.
during the week?
It was
Yeah,
too
it
much
was quite good.
too much indie stuff, but other than that, it was good.
I don't think there was
Go on, Peggy. Go on.
there was any standout though for me. It was all very like
A lot of it looked the same.
it looked
If I'm
the same,
honest.
and like the Rogue Prince of Persia. Was like, oh yes, from the Dead Cells. It's like all that type of game as what Dave was saying looked the same. It's like I like an indie walking simulator title. Where's the indie walking simulator title in there? See.
Yeah, I kind of felt the same. I watched it and I was like, I enjoyed it, and then at the end I was like, right, what am I looking forward to from that? And I was like, oh, I felt like, and then looking back, I felt there's a lot of like Steam games,
Hmm.
a lot of like stuff which is probably not really directed towards us. Like you said, a lot of roguelikes and maybe some Vampire Survivor cloney games as well. Look like
Yeah.
Yeah, look like it was maybe a bit more catered towards like the PC audience, as opposed to
Yeah,
console.
possibly. Like we've had an abundance of like boomer shooters and stuff like that, from like the indie scene. Not that, for the last couple of years, like there wasn't any one of them stuff. I think it was very something like the roguelike type titles and stuff like that. Repeat. Number 5 though on the news, former Stadia exclusive Pac-Man Mega Tunnel Battle returns with Chomp Chance in May for everything. Literally everything it's coming to, pretty much. Apart from the Stadia, because obviously that's dead. Yeah. I played a bit of this on the Stadia because it came out, I don't know, after Pac-Man 99 or before Pac-Man 99, and everyone loves Pac-Man 99. It's like, yeah, the better Battle Royale Pac-Man games on Stadia, you should be playing that. No one did, hence why Stadia's dead. But did you play it?
I played it on Stadia.
Dave?
I bought it on Stadia.
Yeah.
And whatever year it was, I think I did give it quite a good review. But yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was fun. It was, again, a shame it was on Stadia because no one plays Stadia, but
yeah, that's the thing. Like, this game's been announced, and I've seen I was looking for the news and stuff like that. A couple of places have said, "Oh, it was on Stadia," but loads of people was like, "Oh, there's this brand new Pac-Man game." It's like, it's not brand new. Me and Dave played that like 7 years ago or 5 years ago, or how long it was.
It was 4 years ago, Chris.
Yeah, it feels longer than that. Right. Anyway, number 6 on the news. There's a current gen update for Fallout 4. It's due April 25th. So will either of you be going back into the vault or out of the vault as it should be?
I feel like I should because I haven't played it. It's one of those I liked Starfield, so I was like maybe, and I liked Outer Worlds, which are similar games. So if it
Yeah, see, I like both of them. So
yeah, so I think it might be worth. Again, I have access to the game via both consoles, I think. So yeah, why not if I get time.
Yeah,
I would say skip it, Dave, and play Cyberpunk instead at this point.
Well, I have to play Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
We will talk about Cyberpunk later, Craig. Actually, but yes, I think you're probably right.
Yeah, see, I haven't.
It's quite an old-fashioned sort of game. I don't know if it would really hold up if you haven't played it at this point, or if you're not like a Fallout like diehard. I don't know if you go back to it now, it's going to be as glorious as you think.
See, I've not watched the show. I can obviously understand why they put this out with the show being pretty good, and obviously people now on most people on current gen systems, like, oh, you want to jump into a Fallout game? Oh, here's Fallout 4 to play. The only thing, like, I like Starfield Outer Worlds, like Dave mentioned, was one of our first episodes. I can't remember which one it is. Was the one where I said how I hated Fallout 3, and I really disliked the map system, which Fallout 4 would have. So that would put me off a bit from trying it.
Yeah, although I don't think I shoot. I did like a tanky melee build. I just hit things with shit when I played that game.
Nice.
But I do. The show sounds very good, so I do want to watch that eventually.
Yes. Number 7, Clap Hands have announced a new golf game, but to disappoint all of us, it's not everybody's golf. It's Ultimate Swing Golf for the Quest, coming May 16th. So after 13 everybody's golf games in a row or whatever, we're getting they're doing a Quest one.
Will you have a Quest by then, Penguins? That's the question.
May 16th. Oh, I don't know, Greg.
It's not a no, is it? So
we go again. We go again, Davey.
Yeah. It's a matter of time, isn't it?
Yeah, possibly. Who knows? But yeah, I would actually quite like a new Everybody's Golf on the PS5 after this was announced. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to buy one of them. But yeah.
Absolutely not. No fun games are allowed.
Yeah. See, I didn't play the one that they did on Apple Arcade, which they ported to Switch, if that was any good or not.
Couldn't tell you, Pengi.
And you've got Apple devices and a Switch, so you may have played it.
Yeah, I cannot confirm.
Okay. Number 8, there's been some confusion around this one with conflicting report, yet it seems a Dead Space 2 remake or a new game has been cancelled due to the lackluster sales of the Dead Space remake. How does that make you feel, Craig? Because I believe you really like the Dead Space remake.
Fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
It's fucking bullshit, Penguins, is what it is. Yeah, no, it's a real shame because you could definitely see that the plan was to remake but different, like Capcom has with Resident Evil, and make the franchise again. I don't know. You said lackluster sales. I saw like 2 million was quoted.
Yeah, but they wanted
for a game like
5 million, Craig. They wanted
but like I'm pretty. I don't know if it's true or not, but I think I read somewhere that's more than the original first game did, and it's just like, God.
Yeah, but I guess this one now costs 500 bazillion pounds to make
This is the endless problem that we're in, isn't it? It's just,
and 2 million isn't enough games sold. Where back in the old one, it only cost 100 bazillion to make, and it sold million. I don't know, whatever, sort of thing. But good news. Not
the sad thing is, as well, that team has basically just been put on the battlefield.
Yeah, because number 9 on the new Battlefield 2042 supports will end after Season 7 to focus on the next game with the help of EA Motive, who did the Dead Space remake.
I feel like this is a bold strategy going in again on Battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not convinced there's any appetite for Battlefield anymore, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
it's not in the modern way that these multiplayer games work with free to play and that. I just don't see this working out at all well. And we haven't had a good. But when was the last good Battlefield? I don't.
The one on Xbox Live Arcade.
Probably 4, the launch one on Xbox One and PS4. I would say. I liked Hardline, but not everyone's like me.
It's a weird one because obviously they cancelled that apparent Mandalorian game, didn't they, EA? Saying they want to focus on their own IP, yet they've cancelled a Dead Space game apparently, but they're going to focus, I guess, on Battlefield because it's a bigger IP and they used to do really well.
They own the IP, don't they? So they don't have to pay any
but they own
subscription
Dead Space.
stuff. Dead Space is a weird one because I don't think they wanted it to work. If I'm honest with you. Like it's like Craig said, it sold fine. Like they put it on Game Pass / EA Access pretty quickly, which they must have known would have stopped people buying it on sale. So it's like, I think they just didn't want it to work.
With a single player game like that, how can EA charge you for more stuff? Exactly. Where obviously in Battlefield they can charge you for more stuff. And then the final one on the news, number 10, is we've got the update of what's coming in PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium. So for Extra, it's Dave the Diver, which would be a day one release on PlayStation, Oddballers, Construction Simulator, The Crew 2, Raja, an Ancient Epic. I don't know if I pronounced that right. It's actually weirdly a day one PS5. The Enhanced Edition is not on PS5 yet until this on the 16th, and it's going to have a Platinum Trophy. So there you go. The Lego Ninjago movie video game, Noah, Play With Your Food, Deliver Us Mars, Lego Marvel's Avengers, Mishima Chronicles, Shreblade, Tales of Zenzaru Zao, which would be a day one as well on the 23rd of April, and Animo Well, which is also day one but not until the 9th of May, that one. So any of the extra games take your fancy?
Not immediately.
No, there's some good indie stuff in there, and like Raji and Ancient Epics are a fun game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's I think me and Dave both played it when it came to Game Pass.
Yeah, I played it on PS4 as well. I bought it.
Yeah,
it's no platinum, but a good game.
So it's a fun one.
PS5
it's an easy completion
platinum
as well. Yeah, so it'd be an easy platinum.
Oh, is it a PS5 port?
Yeah, the enhanced edition's finally coming to PS5 day one on this.
Only half listening. That's good because
with
I own that game.
a platinum trophy as well. So.
Oh, yeah,
it's
definitely worth doing. It's a pretty easy one.
Yeah, although I when I did it, there are missable
there are
achievements.
Yeah.
And I did my first run. I missed one, and I had to go and do another couple of hours to get that one achievement, which was kind of
the missable one. I have,
brutal.
I believe.
Yeah, there's a few. You got look at some statues or something. Haven't
Yeah.
You? Deliver Us Mars could be good. I played the first one, which I liked.
Yeah.
I think I got the completion. That could be cool. Tales of Kenzera Zhao looks really good.
Yeah.
But I'll probably just wait until that comes to the EA Play on Xbox. And Animal Well looks really good as well. And that's I got that on Fantasy now.
Nice.
That looks like a game that reviewers will like.
Oh yeah, most probably. That thing. Like for me here, like I never played the Raji game, and obviously now it's coming with a platinum and stuff like that. That's tempting. Tells us Zenzaru being the day one looked pretty good. Anyway, I personally not interested in Animal Well, but I do think Craig will be right. It will review pretty well. Gulliver's Mars, I thought the first one was fine, the Moon one, but the Mars one did look like a little bit of a step up, I guess, with a bit more budget and stuff like that, how Moon do. So yeah, it's like 3 games in there I might play. But on the premium side, which is the retro games, you've got Alone in the Dark, The New Nightmare, Star Wars Rebel Assault 2, The Hidden Empire, and for the 3rd time, Medieval.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't really care about any of these. Maybe Star Wars at a push, but yes, I don't really care.
It's not a great group of classic games. They do keep fumbling these classic games, if I'm honest, but we move.
Yeah.
What would be the ones that you boys want out of interest? Like, what would be your I'd come to kit in to get this games?
So the major PSP games really, so like Daxter, Vice City Stories, Liberty City Stories, stuff like that. Really, like there's enough of their own IP games. The Ratchet and Clank games are on PSP. The God of War games are on PSP.
Oh yeah, they could put Secret Agent Clank.
Yeah, there's enough of their own IP PSP games that they haven't re-released. Some of them they have, but most of them they haven't. They could do PS1 wise. I think they have everything. Everything that's any good on the PS1 has basically been remade. So it's kind of like let's get some more PS2
weird
classics. That's what
they got some weird stuff though. Like you got Tekken 2 on there. Like where's Tekken 3?
Yeah, or you can have Tombi, things like that, right? But
yeah, and they got like I don't know if Jumping Flash is on there.
Yeah,
or,
Jumping Flash one's on there.
But like there's a second one. Like there's stuff that even from their own IP because they must be licensing out like Alone in the. I kind of get it because you had the new game recently. But yeah, it's like seems a weird.
It's just weirdly selective. Out. Like you have almost all of the stuff that Bend have ever done. For some reason, like you have all the Siphon Field games, the Resistance game that they did. Like you know what I mean. Like you've got all the stuff from Bend. So I'm guessing they're doing it themselves. But yeah,
because they put out
more you can do. Put it that way.
Because they put out tweets how they were like punishing the resistance and adding in the DLC and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but that is the news.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So before we get on to the topic of the show, let's ask what we've been buying and playing. Craigo.
Buying nothing.
With a K.
Yeah, playing. You played a little bit of Helldivers, didn't we, boys? That was fun.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
There's some Yankee bloke leading us around.
Oh, yeah.
He was quite handy, wasn't he? Bless him.
Yeah.
Can't remember what his name was. He had some sort of meme name.
Something like that. It was American something or other, right? So.
Yeah, right. So that was quite fun. On Xbox, me and Dave played a bit Diablo. That was really good. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun. I like that game. I also there's an old boy in work who's like the biggest Blizzard fanboy ever. He loves Diablo. I was talking to him about it, and he was like, "Right, there's these websites, there's these builds." He's like, "Right, what are you doing? You necromancer?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm necromancer." He's like, "Oh, you need to give blood search." I was like, "I think I'm doing blood search." So, "Oh yeah, so I've got information now, Dave.
God.
I've got information." He loves it. Bless him. Every time I see him now, he's like, "You play any more Diablo?" I was like, "Oh no, not yet." So yeah, I look forward to jumping back into that. And then the only other thing I think I've played is a little bit more Dragon's Dogma. I've killed my first, well, not my first dragon, but my first dragon where I've got to do the quest where you've got to kill some dragons. Dragons, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now I'm looking for the other ones. I think they're marked on the map. I think.
Yes, they're sort of and are sort of not as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I ended up looking at like where are dragons located, so I can go find another dragon.
Yeah. If they're not on the map where I think they are, I will be doing the same. I'm not just wandering around hopelessly looking for fucking dragons.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got my sorcerer up to level 10 now, so I got that achievement. Still haven't unlocked Magic Archer. I'm guessing you don't get that till like the very end.
I never got that in the end because I just wanted to get the game done.
Yeah, so I might get that towards the end. I don't know. I'm kind of in the similar position as you, Pengi. I'm kind of like, I just kind of want this to get this done now. To be honest with you, I don't think there's much more to go from where I am, Pengi.
No, there isn't. There's only like I want to say 3, maybe 4 story quests to go, and one of them I think is really short as well.
Yeah,
but then I guess also I say that, but if you go for the true ending, you've got more missions to do with that, so you might actually have like 8. But
okay.
And then it's how much you want to do in the true ending as well.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see how far we go then.
Basically, do you want to unlock like 1 or 2 more achievements, or do you just want to get the true ending and have it done?
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how many legs that game has. But yeah, that's it. I think that's what I've been playing.
Pengi.
So surprisingly, seeing I've been off all week and I've been to quite a lot of places looking for games to purchase, and I've had money because I had a big clear out of the Nintendo Switch. I was very much expecting to do a pickup video. I thought I'm going to have like 10, 15 pickups. You're both going to go, Pengi, you're mental. Why have you got 15 original Xbox games or something? But no, I've only actually got 2 pickups. So they're both on the PS5, because, what else would they be on? So the first one is the physical, which came out on Tuesday, of Pacific Drive.
Nice.
That's odd, okay.
The physical version of that, which comes with like a little journal map thing and some art cards and stuff like that. It's the same price as the deluxe version on PSN, and obviously you got it physical and you get the book and some art cards, and you get the DLC code for like the whatever the digital deluxe version is. And so I picked that up, and then the other game I bought was on sale in game, and it actually weirdly just left Plus, and I never got around to playing it. It was Chia, the physical of that as well, which again is like the deluxe version of the online one. It comes with some codes, which the codes are really weird. So it's like it's like a children's game, I guess, sort of thing. I think it's a 7+ and that. So the code is like for DLC for cosmetics. One of the game's cosmetics is Scorn.
What, the game scorn?
Yeah, the game scorn, the alien sort of. Yeah, it's like,
There it is.
why would you have? So why would you have like a 7+ children's game? Oh yeah, one of the costumes is from the 18 plus alien style Scorn game. Seems a very weird DLC costume choice, that one to have. But yeah, that is my 2 pickups.
Going back to Chia, what the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
Did anyone else think, because that got announced for Switch, didn't it, at that AAA show?
Yeah.
Did anyone else think that looked really bad, that version?
I mean, yeah, Switch. I mean,
I was watching it. I
Rhymes
thought
when
it was
came to
different.
Switch.
I thought it was a different game. I was like, shit, someone made Chia, but like on a much smaller budget.
Mm.
And then, oh no, this is Chia. I was like, oh god. But I don't know if it was just me like misremembering it.
No, it's most probably because it was on Nintendo Switch.
Oh, okay.
And that's not even like me memeing and hating on the
it's
Switch. It's just it's most pretty. The Switch is 7 years old now.
Yeah, the Switch power-wise is essentially a PS3, so we are at the point now where they need to put a new one out, I think.
Yes, that's my 2 purchases,
Nice.
and then playing we played some Helldivers the other night. That's all I played of that. I did another world on Penny's Big Breakaway, so I went back to that and did, I think it was World 4, and so still not very far into it, but I thought, do a world now and again, I will tick that off. And then the only other thing I think according to my PlayStation, 12 hours, and I'm 53% through the story of Rise of the Ronin.
And how is Rise of Ronin, Pengi?
Really good.
Good.
Yeah, it's a strange one because obviously previews and we talked about it it was the Souls sort of thing. The combat is kind of Soulsy sort of thing. Gotta be I just block and then I just press the triangle to do the cool counter thing, and then you can chop people's heads off. So that's cool. But it's kind of Assassin's Creed-y as well, with all the towers and how you open things up and how it feels like that. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I've played for 12 hours, 53% through the story. And the story, I think, if you look on how long the beat's in 15 hours, because I've been doing some of the side Bond quests with some of the characters that you can meet, because you can get their Bond up, and then they're stronger when you take them on missions and stuff with you, and you can unlock new stances and thing. I'm only using really the katana mostly, but you got different stances, and then a bit like Ghost of Tsushima, you're fighting a certain enemy, this stance is going to be better than that stance, sort of thing. You can level them up and get new ones by doing Bond missions and stuff like that. Yeah, it's just a really fun game, really, and enjoying it.
Good, I'm glad to hear it. It's one of those games I've been curious to hear your thoughts, because I quite like the look of it myself, but I, much like me, you and Craig have talked about, was a little worried about the soulsiness of it, because I don't really like those types of games. So to hear that it's more like an Assassin's Creed is interesting.
Yeah,
I want your full review when you're done, obviously, and then
the combat is still, so I want to say slow, but then it's not, because you can do some flashy combos.
Is it kind of more
like that.
Is it more like Jedi Fallen Order compared to Dark Souls?
Yeah,
that kind of Souls element thing.
Yeah, it's not really slow and really methodical. You still need to. If you don't block, you're going to take damage. You're going to take quite a bit of damage. It's sort of, you got to still block and stuff. But you got a parry. It's not like a parry because you're using the attack button, but you got you time your attack and you can knock people over, and then stamina goes down, and then just wail on them. And then if you've got 2 allies and stuff like that, and you're taking down one guy. Bam, it's pretty good. And like I said, chopping limbs off and all that is all fun and all that good stuff.
What we need is a Penguin stream. That's what we need.
Yeah. The only thing is, I know you haven't played a game that might get talked about later, sort of thing, which I would still mostly recommend over Rise of the Ronin. And you never know. And this year's most probably going to be Assassin's Creed Japan as well, so that could be better or something. And there's a Dragon Ishin, which could also be better. I don't know, because I've not played that and sort of thing. So, out of the samurai games, it could still be the worst. But I don't think
it's funny that coincidentally, Samurai is the year of the samurai, which is really funny, because obviously they wouldn't have all known that there was Shogun was coming out and was going to be good, and then we've got at least 2 games that are samurai based, which is quite funny. But yeah, It happens, right? It happens It was horror last year, so why not? Let's let it be the samurai this year.
Yeah.
Have you played anything else, Pengi?
No, that's it.
Lovely. We'll talk about me, before we get to the topic. So, in terms of Xbox, I have played Diablo with Craig. Because we already talked about Halo, hadn't we, last week? We finished that.
Yeah.
It's good. It's Diablo. It's fun. Look forward to playing more. I haven't played anything on my Switch. There's nothing more to say, is it, about the Switch?
No.
Nothing on.
So who will be the next person to play the Switch? Will it be me with Endless Ocean, or do we think
The next game I'll be buying on Switch is Luigi's Mansion 2 because I'm taking a flight the next day. So my plan was to play and complete that game on the flights. So, but beyond, I don't really know. I can't imagine Craig's going to play us again. I'm surprised Craig's hasn't been sold, if I'm honest. And for you, it's whatever random stuff comes out, right? So.
Yeah, like I said, Endless Ocean is the start of May, but that's all I can think of. That's on the horizon.
Yeah, if you're not going to get the Paper Mario remake, then or remaster, whatever the hell it is, then yeah, probably not. But that's Switch. On the PS5, I have one pickup. So as you can see from the footage, I've played the Grand Blue Fantasy Relink demo last week. Really enjoyed it, so I picked up the game. It was on sale on the Game Collection, which is one of Pengi's sites.
I do like that site.
It was £30, free delivery. The delivery was 24-hour next day. So, fair play. I'm like an hour and a half into that. Really enjoying it. Really, really fun. It's a really fun-ass hybrid of kind of a hack and slashy anime beat 'em up and also Monster Hunter. And it's really, really good. Like, really, 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 really good. So, I'm enjoying it so far. Yeah, but I haven't played it enough to really, like, delve deep and rate it or anything like that, but really enjoying that a lot.
Yeah, and I guess you got your team of waifus with you.
I don't know. I don't only have the one waifu at the moment. I'm using the dudes with the big swords and the big guns, really.
Nice.
But again, I'm very not far into it at all. So give me.
I was going to say, have you been able to get any extra characters yet?
No extra characters. I haven't got that trophy yet. So, but yeah. So I literally started like yesterday, I think. But yeah, really fun. Enjoying that. I've also been playing Resistance Retribution, which is the PSP game from Bend. It's funny because it's got a PS3 controller patch. So it's twin stick. It's a third-person shooter. It's very simple. It's very shooter gallery. Set in the Resistance world, which is a really cool world. It's kind of fun. It's weird. Like it's one of those games like you need a tolerance for old games to play it. For sure, like it's not a modern game, but like it's fun. It's a PSP game, so the missions are quite short, and there's a lot of content. It looks really good on PS5, which is quite funny. Like they've really done some work with the emulator to make it look good. And obviously it's got the rewind feature. But yeah, it's a fun game. I'm really enjoying it. I'm like 6 hours into that. I think it's about a 10-hour game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I recommend it if you've got premium. And again, like I said, if you've got a tolerance for older games, especially PSP, it's one of the better ones. It does hold up because it has fairly good controls. Because obviously it's been tailored for two sticks, so which is kind of a big thing. But yeah, really good game. We kind of want to play the Resistance games now. The only one that's on PS5 streaming is 3. So I might play that game. I just wasn't sure if you get trophies for the streaming games, Chris. Do you know?
You get trophies. Yeah, you get trophies.
Because I think the only online trophy you can do with two controllers is like a co-op one.
Right.
So I could potentially force my girlfriend to sit there and get me trophies, which is a great use of a girlfriend. To be honest, it's what you should use them for.
I was gonna say, well, I guess you've played it. Shadowfall. Have you played Killzone Shadowfall?
No, I haven't. But you can't get the platinum on that anymore, Chris.
No.
But I will play it, I think. Cause I think I have like the opening level trophy for that because I got it with my PS4 in 2015, which is 9 years ago. But Resistance is really good, and I want to play Liberation at some point because I know you've played Liberation. The other PSP one was on there, which is like a slightly different style game. But again, it's like I said to you guys before we said earlier, like I've got the year of premium, so I'm kind of like, well, I might as well use it. Like I like the old games. They're usually quite easy platinums as well. Like it's a bit of a carrot. Like it's about a 10-hour platinum game for playing a third-person shooter. It's kind of fun, right? It's good for the work from home life I have. That type of game suits, if I'm honest with you boys. So, but yeah, I think that's all I've played and all I've bought. Obviously, I played Helldivers with you guys. It was a lot of fun. We do need to play more of that game because it's great. I did. I think I toyed with Ghosts and Horizon Forbidden West, because I was like, I need to get through one of these, but I probably will do Forbidden West at some point soon. But yeah,
I was going to say the new Battle Pass has come out as well for Helldivers. I think yesterday, so that's there.
That's there if you want it.
It's got a fire arrow crossbow thing.
What more could you want, Pengi? What more could you want? Well, without further ado, let's step onto our topic of the show. Tots. So we decided randomly for our topic of the show to go back in time before the times of the Craig and talk about what our game of the years would have been on previous years. And so the first year we didn't have Craig on this podcast because Craig is actually only 4 years old. He was created in a lab at the end of 2020.
I was born like this, motherfuckers.
You came out like this. Is 2020, which is of course the COVID year, which is really crazy to think that that's 4 years ago now, and how different the world is. And looking back on this,
it was the launch year as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, so we had 2 consoles launched at the end of that year. Again, the strangest launches of all time in terms of pre-orders, announcements, everything. It was completely strange. Like doing research for this topic. It's just crazy to think that like, even the video game coverage we were watching changed in like March to just being like online only, and then no one had seen the consoles before they came out. Like it was really, really bizarre. Like if you remember, Chris, the PS5 controller was shown on like a Japanese YouTube channel.
Yeah,
like a crazy dude in gloves, and it was like that was the only time it was seen before it like the console launch. Whereas obviously in the past you'd go to E3 and you'd play it and yada yada yada. So a very interesting year, and it turns out, boys, a lot of bangers.
Great year, wasn't it?
So, yeah, it was a really good year.
So we've compiled top 10s each, and I've combined it into like a one big top 10.
Yes.
So we're just going to look at the honourable mentions before we get to that. So games that didn't make the list, boys. Games that didn't make the top 10. Call of the Sea, Cyberpunk 2077. Only one of you voted for that, which really surprised me. Ghost of Tsushima, Florence, Battletoads, Telling Lies, Destroy All Humans, Resident Evil 3, Pac-Man Mega Tunnel Battle on the Stadia, boys, don't worry, I knew. Crash Bandicoot 4, Star Wars Squadron, Fall Guys. So none of them made the list, which is crazy. That's a crazy year, but no one made the list.
I'm so really surprised about Cyberpunk, because if only one person voted for it, that's me.
Exactly.
Which I'm shocked.
So what
Craig didn't vote for Cyberpunk.
Yeah, I liked it, but I don't know. I never look back on Cyberpunk like, oh, it was so good.
Yeah, I wonder if you played the DLC.
I'll be honest.
Change.
Yeah, but then it's that DLC's weird, Nick. 'Cause it's kind of like changed the game now, and like everyone's like, oh, you have to really start a new save, and no, I don't really want to start a new save.
Yeah.
I was surprised that no one else put
DLC,
Fall Guys. If I'm honest with you, that was the one I was like, only me for Fall
I
Guys?
didn't really play it because it was on PlayStation, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
And it
completely
came to
forgot.
Xbox, and then it was like, I was like, oh, it's okay, but I think like the fanfare was over by then.
Yeah,
everyone had moved on.
I completely forgot the Star Wars Squadron came out that year as well, which I was like, oh yeah, I like that game. And Crash 4. Crash 4's great.
Yeah, and I don't know if I can't remember if I played Telling Lies or not. I can't.
I had never even heard of it, so I was like, what is Telling Lies?
It's the Sam Barlow game.
Yeah,
cool.
it's the guy that
So
did Immortality.
Not a real game. Not a real game. Glad it didn't make the final list. Thanks.
No,
That's all I needed to hear.
Yeah, I feel I played it weirdly on PC, like I did Her Story.
Or Florence as well. I was like, what is Florence, Chris?
Florence, it's do you know? It's even more shocking. It's a mobile game.
Oh yeah, I remember. So I'm glad that was joint with another game, but it didn't make the list because you were the only one that voted for it. Was the other game had multiple votes? So are we ready for the top 10?
Yes, David, do it.
At number 10 with 8 points, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Which me and Chris voted for. Craig hasn't played, which is insane that me and Chris have finished the big open world Ubisoft game and Craig hasn't.
So I bought the wrong
You
Ubisoft launch game.
Yeah, they had
Yeah.
three. They had three. Craig chose the two wrong answers.
Yeah. Well, Watch Dogs is definitely a wrong answer. Plus, it fucked me over with my saves multiple times. Phoenix Immortals Rise is actually really good, I thought, but it also fucked me over with my save, and I lost shitloads of progress, and that kind of like soured that game for me like crazy.
Yeah.
That was one of mine that didn't make it in Mortals Phoenix Rising because I really enjoyed that. But it's even better than a game that it kind of copies. It's a Ubisoft game, so obviously it's worse, even though it's actually better.
Yeah, that's one of those games I'd love to have the time to get to at some point because I really like the look of it. And again, the two that I chose is I played AC, which I loved, and then I played Watch Dogs not that long after and was like, this is terrible. Like, not even broken.
Yeah, it's
like
not
Craig
great.
says, I just didn't enjoy it. But AC Valhalla, really good game. Really recommend it to Craig.
It
long,
also shows you
but we
because
finished
we both finished it. I guess that also shows how good
it was.
is.
Bear in mind, it
that
was
we
like a
both
50,
finished
60
it.
hour game, which me and you don't really finish, but we both did. So
But
good.
the only thing is, one of the there was obviously launch games on the Series X, but like Forza Horizon 4 was an update where this was like a brand new game for us as well. So that really helped for the time.
Exactly, and that's a perfect segue into the number 9 game with 9 points. A game that me and Chris both need to play and haven't. Yakuza Like a Dragon, which was Craig's number 2 game. So Craig, talk to us about Yakuza.
It's just great shit, isn't it?
Another launch title as well.
Yeah, it was launched, and it was like a weird 6 months exclusive, wasn't it? Because of some weird deal that they'd done, which didn't actually, I don't think it actually included this game, but it just meant that this had to be exclusive for some reason. I can't remember the insides and outsides of it. But yeah, it's a great game.
Yeah, it was weirdly
the
the
sequels are very
coverage
good as
game,
well.
wasn't it? It was the coverage game for Xbox. So they had this in Forza, but every single journalist, when they were sent the Xbox Series X early, it was, you need to play Yakuza Like a Dragon and and there's like another random backwards compatible game. I can't remember what it was. But
It was Gears 5, wasn't it?
Gears 5, yeah, you're right. And it was like, this is the game. But yeah, I really want to get to it eventually. Again, I own it on both consoles. So, good game. Our number 8 is a Chris Pengelly exclusive pick. You are not going to be shocked to know what this is, Chris. With 10 points is The Last of Us Part 2 on PlayStation 4.
Woo! It's just great, isn't it? Like, obviously, it's pretty high in my. This is the thing. Out of 2020, my top 5 on 2020 are in my top 100 of all time, which obviously Last of Us Part 2 is the highest of my top 100. It's just great. It's like I know you're never gonna play it, Dave, but Craig so needs to play the Last of Us.
I wouldn't pay money to play it, but if they put the PS5 versions on Plus, I'd try it. I'd be willing to try them. But they need to put them on Plus. I'm not paying to play Last of Us.
Yeah. But Craig, who's
Craig
got
will probably love
no prior experience, just and needs to play it and see what all the fuss actually is about with the Last of Us thing.
Yeah, I need to play it, but there's a huge list of games in there that I need to play.
Yeah, it really is. Like your list is bigger than everyone else's because you're not as bad as us with naughty purchases. But in the similar vein, for Craigo, his number 1 and our number 7, Doom Eternal,
which is an absolute banger. I don't think this is quite in my top 10 or my top 100 that I started making. This is insanely good. I think I was playing this in a party chat with you, Dave, and I think you were getting annoyed at just how much I was gushing over this game.
Well,
it's fantastic.
Doom is one of those things. I've recommended the new Doom games to more people than any other game, but I've never really played them myself.
Yeah,
and it's time.
2016 is good, but this is this takes 2016 beyond. It's incredible.
Was this
so good?
So this came out the same time as Animal Crossing, didn't it? That was the meme. So it was pre-console.
Yes.
And it's obviously been updated since. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure we're going to hear about a third Doom game fairly soon. But
I don't know. It sounds like they're making something different.
I hope they make.
It was the rumor was a prequel one there.
Yeah,
Doom Zero or something.
It's done really well, and people love those games. So again, I really need to get to them. But the ultra-violent first-person shooter is not something I play that often.
Probably the best single-player first-person shooter I've ever played. I reckon.
What a statement!
Yeah,
he clearly hasn't played Duke Nukem Forever, Chris. But we move. So we move on to our number 6, which is The Greatest Travesty. One of the games I believe is on everyone's list and should have been number 1. Really, you've all let me down. And that is, of course, the seminal game, Dirt 5.
This is on Penguin's list as well.
No.
Was it not?
No, it's not.
Although, I thought you both gave it 1 point.
That's to say.
Yeah, Penguins hasn't got taste. So me and you have got taste.
No, it was one of my honourable mentioned missed. One of the 5 that missed the cut.
It was my number 1 pick. You'll be shocked to hear. It was my game of the year. A game I've platinumed twice and got all the achievements and played on Stadia and played on Luna. Haven't played it on Steam. But yeah, love Dirt 5. I don't know. There's not a lot you can say because it's the good things about it are really uninteresting. Like it's just a fun, like arcadey rally game, and there just isn't many games like that anymore. And I enjoyed completing it. Obviously, I wouldn't have done it 3 times if I didn't. There's lots of content. The downloadable content was really good as well. It was just a fun ass game. It was a perfect game for lockdown as well, which is a really weird thing to say. But like, we went into lockdown quite a lot over that period. I think there was a period where I was literally locked in my house for 2 weeks, and that game was great for that when I wasn't playing Football Manager or FIFA. But yeah, Dirt 5, great game. Everyone should play it. I've actually listed it as a Stadia game on there just for shits and giggles. So far, by the way, 3 of the games that we've said were on Stadia.
What system?
Okay, exactly. Craig killed it.
No, more than 3, wasn't it? Assassin's Creed, Cyberpunk.
Oh, I meant the actual list. Cyberpunk's on the list.
No, yeah.
Cyberpunk best on Stadia, remember? But yeah, Dirt 5. So on number 5, which 2 of us had, I believe, with 13 points. A game I'm really glad I wasn't the only one that listed this was Mafia Definitive Edition.
Hell yeah, I had this quite high. I love this game. This is really good.
I think this was my number 3.
And I was kind of umming and ahhing whether to put it on there, but it is essentially like a remake, isn't it?
It's a full remake, yeah. I've got Mafia on the original Xbox. It's a bona fide remake.
Yeah, definitely. And it's such a weird game as well, because it's an open world game, but it's not an open world game at all. It's just a completely linear open world game.
I think it might be the most underrated game of the year on this year because like it's such a linear experience, but it's so polished. It's not long as well. Like it does a lot of really interesting things. The story's really, really good. The gameplay set pieces are really, really good. The game feels really good. Looks amazing still. But people just don't really talk about it. It's a very very strange series anyway for that. But like I think it came out as a trilogy pack if you remember as well. But yeah, really...
I think Pengi would like it. I don't know if you played the original Pengi.
Oh, I played the original back on the OG Xbox. I thought it was quite good, but that's obviously like 20 odd years ago. I played that now. Even longer
I think you'd quite like this.
Yeah, I'd really reckon it's not very long. Like it's definitely on PS Plus for sure because I've considered it playing it again. But yeah, really, really great game, and I was glad to see that me and Craig had it. But yeah, Mafia Definitive Edition. At number 4, I feel like this could be higher if Craig would ever play it, but he hasn't played it. And that is PS5 free launch title, Astro's Playroom, which me and Chris both had very high. I think I had it at number... So actually, Mafia was number 4 for me, Astro's was number 2 for me.
I had it in number 7.
Yeah. Chris, tell us about Astro's Playroom.
Actually, sorry, number 6. Yeah, it's a weird one because obviously it's a pack-in title, so Craig not playing it is unbelievable. Sort of thing, because it maybe I was going to say maybe one of the best pack-in titles, but Wii Sports and Super Mario World were pack-in titles, weren't they? But yeah, it's a fantastic showcase for the PS5, like how the controller works and all the SSD and stuff. Which I guess now 4 years on, we now know how the controller works and the power of the SSD and stuff like that. But it's so fun, like we've talked about on like the last episode, like the rumors and stuff of the new Astro game. And it's like, yeah, we're excited for that. We want them to do like a proper game and stuff like that, like a 50-60 quid game, like not these small like bite-sized tech demo type things. We want a full Astro game because we know how good they actually are from what we've. The closest we've got to a proper full Astro game is the VR one, which obviously was great.
Yeah, I just think it's probably the best 3 to 5 hour game I've ever played.
Mm.
It's just it's a beautiful looking game anyway. All 5 of the worlds are really fun and interesting, full of nostalgia. The controls are really good. The gimmick stuff's really good. Like even the collectibles are fun to collect. Like it's a weird game. The speedrun stuff they added was good. Like it's a very nostalgic thing, but it's really very high quality. And to be a free game, like a free download, / packed into your console anyway, like I can't really recommend Astro's Playroom more. If you have a PS5, like you should play it. Like it's 3 to 5 hours. It's one of those. Like you can sit there. It could be an afternoon. And you'll be like, oh, that was a good time. Like you haven't wasted time. It's better than, we see all these fucking walking simulators that some of the people in this podcast, don't know who, will waste their time playing, and it'd be like, cool, I just pressed an A button to get trophies and and achievements or whatever. And it's like, no, like don't play Astro's Playroom. It's a better time spent than games like that, in my opinion. So, really recommend it.
Yes.
Number 3, a game I have not played, which is crazy that it's this high because of the way numbers work. But yeah, it's a game that you both rate very highly, and that is Ori Will of the Wisps.
Yeah.
So Craigo, tell us about Ori 2.
Obviously, I've not played the first one, which is weird. This is the only one I played. But this one here is great. I think the first one's more of a platformer, right? Whereas this is a full-on 2D Metroidvania. It's probably the best 2D Metroidvania I've ever played. It's fantastic. It looks beautiful. It plays unbelievably well. The bosses are great, and the soundtrack is phenomenal. So yeah, I think I had it. Let's say it was a crazy year. I think I had it like 3 or 4. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, Dave, you really need to play this because it's
downloaded on the console.
Fantastic.
It's on the list.
Yeah, because it's a weird one, because we found out last week you played the first one, but not the second one. Is that right, Dave? Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is crazy, because it is. They're both really good Metroidvania titles. It's most probably like the 2 Ori games compared to like anything I can really come close to is like Symphony of the Night or like Red. It's it's up there for the quality of Metroidvania. More people I need to should play this.
Absolutely, yeah. It's one that I'd like to get to this year. It's on my list for this year. But yeah, great stuff. So now we're on to our top 2. It was kind of always going to come down to these 2 games, based on how highly other games are ranked. Obviously, so I believe this one is the one that got points by being on everyone's list. You'll correct me when I'm inevitably wrong about this, but looking at the way I've done it, I think this is on everyone's list. So second place with 16 points is Spider-Man Miles Morales on the PlayStation 5.
That is on my list.
It's quite high. I think it's 4 for mine.
It's about 6th, I think, on mine. It's quite high on my list.
I got it 7th.
Yeah, it's a good game. But yeah, Miles Morales, follow up to the PS4 game. I personally think this is my favourite of the 3 Spider-Man games, because it's a shorter, tighter experience. Again, showcased the PS5 really well. Was just more fun than the first one. I get that the main villain wasn't very good, but like the rest of the game was pretty fun. It was so good. I mean, I got the platinum. I played the game twice. I did the New Game Plus. So, Craigo, what do you think about Spider-Man Miles Morales?
Yeah, I loved it. This is the first game I played on my PlayStation 5. When I bought it off you, I think it's great. It's quite a nice, compact little Spider-Man game with all the kind of the fat chopped off. And I've literally finished this, went straight into 2, I think.
Mm-hmm. If you played the first one, didn't you play that when you had your PS4?
Yeah.
Nice.
I prefer it to the first one. I'd probably go, like, my order would be 2 Miles Morales than 1.
Yeah.
I agree with Craig on that order. Actually, because Miles is just, I think, much more likable character than Peter as well.
Yeah.
Also, this is a weird one, because if we had done this in 2020, this must have made it, because obviously, famously, having a broken PS5, I did manage to finish on that broken PS5, but it's horrendous trying to play it. But obviously, I played it again last year after playing Spider-Man 2 to get the platinum over Christmas, and it's like, yeah, this is actually really really good time. It's more Spider-Man, and again playing it in Christmas, where the game is set in Christmas, was a good idea.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a good game. It's another one it's on Plus, so if you have a PS5 and you want to play something without paying too much money, and it's a short game, so I do really recommend it. But that's Spider-Man Miles Morales. So our number one, I don't think this is a surprise, with 17
No.
points. A game that Craig has to play this year, I believe, for his backlog challenge, and that is Final Fantasy VII Remake on the PlayStation 4. Pengi. FF7.
This I was actually, when I look back at 2020, I was looking at my top 100 and I was shocked this came out in 2020, because it was a weird year, like you said, with COVID and new consoles and stuff like that. It's like, did that really come out the same year as like the new consoles and that? And it's like, oh yeah, it did. It's just like, I think this just shows you how to make a remake and do it different, especially with the ending, and then Rebirth, with the title of that one, and then obviously what will ever be the third one. Combat's great, like graphically it's fantastic, the story, like what's gonna happen, because obviously it is a remake of a game from 1997, but how they do it all is great, and like the new stuff, and making like characters like Jesse and Wedge and Biggs like more interesting as well from the original thing. It's just good time in there.
Yeah, it's an incredible game. I think, for me personally, I'm trying to think. Did it come out in February, Chris?
Yeah, it was April. So you had April.
It was just after COVID had hit.
Yes, it was crazy. So you had this April. I don't think you had anything in May, and then you had Last of Us in June, Ghost of Tsushima in July, and then obviously you had the console in November, like the PS5 in November, which obviously Spider-Man, Demon's Souls, etc.
But yeah, it was a really good game. Like, I really enjoyed it. It was the last hurrah of my PS4. It was so loud. It was 2 discs, I think, if my memory serves me. The bloody PS4 wanted to take off, Craig. It really did.
Yeah. My PS4, it does sound like an aeroplane.
Airplane's a good way to describe it. But yeah, I really enjoyed the changes. I really enjoyed the combat. It was nice to be back in that world. Like, it's a really well realized world that they've created over the last 20 plus years. And yeah, it's very worthy of Game of the Year. And I think, had we done this in 2020, it would have been our Game of the Year as well. So Craig obviously needs to play it. I think he will probably enjoy it, if I'm honest. But we'll see. But yeah, great stuff.
So we have Square Enix, another Game of the Year award.
Another Game of the Year goes to remake. We just like old games. Who knew?
Yeah.
But yeah, any final closing 2020 thoughts, boys? Did we enjoy the console launches other than Chris's broken shop to PS5? Craig?
Well, my Xbox was pretty good when I got that, when that came out.
Yeah, did you get a Series X at launch?
Yeah, I got Series X at launch.
Because I got an S, didn't I? And Craig obviously got his Series X day one.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't quite for launch. It was like a month after, because I got my refund off my PS5, remember, and I couldn't get a PS5 again, so I was like, I can just get an Xbox, so I could just, just buy them, so I was like, I'll just do that instead. So.
And you never forgave Xbox, did you, Chris?
No, I never forgave them.
Lovely. Well, if no one's got anything else to add.
The surprising one, I don't know if you played it, Dave, because I know you did your honourable mentions like Call the Sea and Cyberpunk. Animal Crossing New Horizons didn't make my list. Now, at the time in 2020, it would have been really high in 2020, because that game obviously at the time thing. But yeah, I'm surprised. I thought it may have made yours.
No, I played it like 20 hours, but it wasn't a game for me. To be honest with you, I think the reason people loved Animal Crossing was because it was like a way to talk to your friends, and it was like a social thing, but we were all still working. So like I didn't have time to sit at home and fucking fuck around with my garden in a video game and then go online and show it off and then do it again the next day. Like, I just didn't have time for a game like that because I was still at work. So then when I was off with the, remember the NHS app knocking people off? Like, right, I was off at a time when that had already long passed. Like, I was catching up on other games. Like, I wasn't playing Animal Crossing. You know what I mean? So never did it for me. I know you liked it at the time, but like you said, it was a very situational game. Like we were all three of us were working in retail, so it was like we didn't have the time that a lot of other people had to play a game like that. We were coming home from work. Probably if you guys were like me, physically and emotionally destroyed, so we were more likely to play a game like Doom or Dirt 5, where we could just go crazy and not think, than sit there and be like, oh, I need to plan out the next 4 days of collecting for this fucking thing I want to make, you know? But
And now thinking back, I think I have more fond memories of New Leaf than New Horizons.
yeah, I think most people agree with you on that. I think I don't know if
But
that's
New
Horizons.
Horizons, I just seem to play like for 50 hours like really quickly and stuff, and then but like New Leaf actually seemed to spread it out over the course of the time. I don't know, because the 3DS is more of a handheld. I don't really know why, but yeah.
It's time and place.
You're
right?
probably a different sort of gamer back then as well.
Yeah, and you were a younger man, Chris, as well. You got to remember these things.
I don't know if like New Leaf had a Street Pass options or something.
It did, and they had it had a different rollout of content. And then they did the Happy Home Designer, and then they had the phone app, and again, it was a different time. Like we were in our mid-20s, I think, when that game came out. So like we were doing this show, I believe. So it was like you still had the Vita and all that stuff as well. Like it was a different Pengals, a different time. And obviously 2020 was a very interesting time. But yeah, that is 2020. I look forward to going back to 2019 because I thought I remembered 2020 and I didn't. So I'm looking forward to seeing what 2019 was like, because in my mind 2019 was a relatively good year, but a couple of those games are on this list, so I'm like, oh, okay.
Some bangers that spring to mind straight away. So yeah, I think it was a very good year again.
Yeah, I think they're all pretty good. I think we're going to go back as far as probably like 2012, 2013 probably. But yeah, what we do next week, who knows? We still need to do Craig's top 100. He did pussy his way out of that. So we'll have to make a list. I don't know if there is 100 Call of Duties and Tiger Woods games to make the list, Craig, but I'm sure that'll be good. But yeah, if you made it this far, thank you for watching the show. We will be back next week, but if you drop a like, drop a subscribe, and let us know you're enjoying it. But yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.